On today's show, I test drive the Tesla Model Y, share with you my thoughts on its ride, handling, fit and finish, and why I chose this SUV over Hyundai's Ioniq 5 or Kia EV6. When you first get into the Model Y, it immediately hits you that the seat height is a lot higher than the Model 3. I'm used to sort of getting down into the Model 3, and when I got into this, I was like, whoa, I'm up really high, and I tried to lower the seat a bit and I couldn't lower it. So you feel a lot taller relative to what you're used to driving in, say, a Model 3. And I'm looking at a Kona in front of me, and I feel like I'm actually in line with the upper portion of the glass. That's how much higher I actually feel I'm riding here. So visibility at the front is great. A-pillars, typical thickness for modern day cars. Side, nice large glass, and view out the back, got the lovely hip lines of the Model Y, and visibility through the side mirrors is awesome, but visibility through the rear view mirror is terrible. It's tiny. It's not as bad as some cars I've driven in, but mate, yeah, you're going to use the cameras. You're going to have to use the cameras. That's probably my first thing I've noticed about driving the Model Y compared to the 3. Mind you, the visibility out the back of the 3 isn't always the best either. I still think I'm a sedan. I prefer sedans, but this feels pretty nice. The seat's comfortable, supportive. It's only heated, not ventilated. It's got nice side bolsters. Again, I wanted to put it lower, but it's not going to happen. These wheels are the 19-inch Gemini wheels, and if you don't like the look of them, because goodness knows that plastic covering is ugly as sin, you can always take them off, and they look a lot better underneath. You just need to put the hubcap nut cover, which you can get easily on eBay, Amazon, anywhere like that for quite cheap. You can also, I think, buy branded Tesla ones. You can also option up to the 20-inch wheels, and I've got to tell you, so far, I'm now 20 minutes into this drive, they're not helping the ride. It's firm. I'm just going over, it's not a bad road. I'm going over some repaired road, and I'm feeling everything through the entire cabin. Alright, that's just cruise control. So you one down tap for cruise control, double tap for autopilot. Let's see if it recognizes the car in front. I've got my foot ready. Oh yeah, it's seeing it. Okay, autopilot's slowing the car down now. And we're going back up. Again, autopilot is the one. I compare all other cars and the auto steer, lane centering and radar cruise control to Tesla Autopilot, and with very good reason. It's so good. Sure, software updates might mean that you get phantom braking or some weird anomaly that will be fixed. It's almost always fixed in software. So it's great that Tesla is now offering, like, for $5,100 Australian, enhanced autopilot option, which is not the full self-driving option, which is like $10,100. And by the way, I haven't said this clearly in videos, you can actually upgrade from one to the next. So you don't need to go whole hog on FSD, not knowing even when that's going to come out to Australia. People who had the Tesla Model 3 in 2019 purchased FSD, and it's not transferable with you as the owner. It actually stays with the car. It's just like, think of it as a legacy car. If you put something into your car as a normal sort of thing, it goes with the car when you sell it, and that's how they consider full self-driving. I appreciate that people do not like that, but I also appreciate where Tesla's coming from. And they profit from this when they resell the cars. So yeah, it's kind of not exactly a generous move by Tesla, shall we say, but it's just smart business. That's all that is to say about that. All right, so going around corners, the ride and handling is great. It's very level. It's Sticks to the road nicely. It's like it's on rails. It's very sporty. For an SUV, you don't expect an SUV to handle like this. Great example coming up. There's speed humps. Everything is transferring into this cabin. The reviews saying that the suspension needs work is very true. I don't know how it behaves under speed and acceleration. I think that as an owner, I would forgive it. You get used to this sort of ride, but it's not your typical SUV. It really isn't. It actually, I would expect this on a performance car. And this is the entry-level standard range one that I'm getting. So, I don't know. Turn that down. I did the swipe version. I turned the temperature down, and I just went a bit too far. But that's okay. Pleasingly, I think the dollar price that I got it at before it actually went up, not even 4 days after they put them on sale, is actually excellent. It's very good, very competitive. But no, they've had a correction since, so the driveway price is obviously substantially more because of our taxes. But you're talking, Ioniq territory now, Ioniq 5. The EV6 is the cheapest electric vehicle SUV in this sort of size, but it is actually smaller, it is shorter. Whereas this seems like it actually is a bit higher, definitely is actually higher than the Ioniq 5. And what I prefer, if I was driving an SUV, I prefer the ride height of this. And I think that's because also you're sitting on top of this bench that's been artificially raised with some very ugly little blocks that sit under the seat. In this seating position right now, they're kind of hidden because the seat's in the lowest position. But when you raise things up, it's not a nice look at all. This test drive, I think, has cemented my decision and actually just buying the standard range model. I know that I'm not going to get 455 kilometers of range, using a WLTP cycle. It's realistically, I think I'm going to be about a 380 kilometer, 370 kilometer car. It's big. SUVs are extremely popular in Australia, so I'm thinking about the future there, where we may well sell this thing. And for those who have maybe been wondering, yeah, we're going to be putting this on like EV. So I'll do a separate story on that when we get to it. But nonetheless, I think this is going to do extremely well. What would I choose? Well, I've chosen the Model Y. Are you thinking, Chris, what are you on about? Well, what I choose is that the car I prefer looks-wise is actually the Ioniq 5, both interior and exterior. It's modern, futuristic, and it ticks all the right boxes for me. But it doesn't have Tesla Autopilot, nor the support of the Tesla network with its superchargers, which I know will be a moot point as soon as they actually open them up in Australia. But then you've got destination chargers, of which there are many, and there's like one very close to my house, like 5 minutes from my place. So when I go shopping, I could be getting some free fuel. And I also love the infotainment system that Tesla does and those constant over-the-air updates. So those three things are why I choose Tesla over the Hyundai Ioniq 5. The warranty in this is nowhere near as good as Hyundai's, nor Kia's, or name any brand you want. So I really I would love to see Tesla improve the warranty on these cars. But nonetheless, this is a dark interior. I've gone for the white interior. It just looks like I'm sitting in Model 3, albeit sitting a lot higher. The ride is definitely very firm. The shudder through the cabin and the noise transfer and the shocks and bumps, they're coming through as well. So I don't know. I doubt very much are things going to change before we get to that point. I'm not very certain. They're coming out. I'll let them go first, and then I'll go second. All right. So anyway, this has been a very brief Tesla Model Y test drive. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give me a sub. It's absolutely free. If you want to see behind the scenes and content that I don't show you here on YouTube, please come over to your Patreon, where you get all this and a lot more from as little as $2.50 per month. Otherwise, you be good and you be green.